Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now quite old, becoming very collectible and increasingly hard to find, especially in this mint unopened condition. We are looking at a 2000 release by Lido from their Noddy In Toyland series of die-cast vehicles that come complete with the miniature figures, and they're all based on the television series of the late 90s called Noddy's Toyland Adventure, and this whole series is all from Noddy In Toyland. Okay, this particular item we are looking at today is of Gobby in his car with his swag in the back, and he was really the villain of Toyland. Okay, so this is the box that it comes in, and top of the box you can see an image of Noddy, and it says Noddy In Toyland. It's got Lido, the collector's choice. It says from 3 years, and at the bottom of the box you can see it says Blytons Toyland, and you've got an image of Noddy and all his friends and characters in the train. And just behind the bubble window you can see the model itself with Gobbo and his swag in the back. Okay, but before we look at the model itself, I just want to turn the box around and let's see what we got on the back. Okay, so there is 6 in this series, and again you've got the Noddy image at the very top left hand corner. It says Toyland Cars, collect the set. So you've got Mr. Plod's police car together with Mr. Plod, Noddy's car with Noddy figure, Mr. Milko's milk van, obviously with Mr. Milko, Toyland fire engine with big ears, Mr. Sparks pickup truck again with Mr. Sparks, and Gobbo's car with Gobbo. And at the very bottom again he's got Blytons Toyland. Now if I just turn the box to the side, it says Toyland Cars, die-cast models, Blytons Toyland, and I think it's probably exactly the same on the other side. Yes it is, Toyland Cars, die-cast models, Blytons Toyland. If I just turn the box up to the bottom there, you can see it's got the warning, so it's not suitable for children under 3 years old because it contains small parts. And you've got the licensing information at the bottom there, the Lido details and the CE markings and the barcode and so on. Okay, that is the item in the box. So what we're going to do now, I think I'm going to open the box and we're going to take the model out and we're going to have a look at it, have a good look at it outside of the box. Okay, so I've removed the model from the box and this is how it comes. And it comes in this on this plinth, as you can see, with the backdrop image. And I'll just lift that plastic off, which was the bubble that was holding it in place inside the box. And there you can see that's much easier to see the model itself and the backdrop. There's a really nice backdrop there. In fact, it looks so good that if you wanted to display this model, you would just leave it on the backdrop. It just looks very good. Maybe you'd open it all the way up. But the backdrop just looks great of Toyland with PC Plod there, and there's Gobbo hiding in the bushes there, and there's some of the insect characters there. Okay, so this is the model. Let's just... Oh, it's stuck on the back there. That's better. Okay, so this is the model of Gobbo's car, and you can see in the back of the car is Gobbo's swag bag. And that just sits in the back. It does come out. We'll come to that in a second. And then also you've got Gobbo figure, which we'll have a look also in a second. Okay, so this is the die-cast model. So the body, the main body around the top and sides there is all die-cast metal. But that is the only metal on the model. Everything else is plastic. So the wheel guards are plastic, the wheels are plastic, the base is plastic, and on the bottom it says Toyland Cars by Lido. Goblins on the back there. That's his registration number. So the grille is still plastic, the bumper's all plastic, the windscreen is plastic, the seats are plastic, the steering wheel is plastic, and the bottom of the pickup truck is also plastic. So the only metal is the actual main chassis there. Other than that, it's all plastic. But it is very heavy for a vehicle that's only part metal. So it's obviously a thick metal, heavy metal that they've used to make this body for the particular model. I don't know why they've made it so heavy, but they have. Anyway, the only functionality we have here on the car is the free rolling wheels, and because the way they are, the solid plastic, they do roll very well on any surface. So it's very, very good at maneuverability as far as the free rolling wheels are concerned, and you can hear them spinning as I just do that. Other than that, there is no other functionalities of the model. It is just a play vehicle for you to play with, but as I say, they look absolutely fantastic on display. So let's just get some sizes, I think, before I look at the rest of the items. So the model itself, from back to front bumper, you're looking at 10 centimeters. Width wise, let's measure across the widest point, which is 5.5 centimeters. And height wise, if we measure from the bottom of the wheel to the top of the windscreen, you're looking at 5 centimeters. So it is an orange die-cast model body chassis with green and grey green trim around the wheels, and the grey trim is the bumper and the grille and the windscreen, and you've got a black bottom on it. There we go. So that is the Gobbos car, and this is his swag bag, which is solid plastic. It doesn't open at all. It's not a bag at all. It literally is a lump of plastic with swag row on it in the shape of a bag with a tie on the back. Size wise, this measures 4 centimeters tall from top to bottom. We're looking at about 3 centimeters across, and we are looking at about 2 centimeters deep. You can hear that. It's just a solid lump of plastic, and that just sits in the back of his car as his swag bag. And there is Gobbo. So that's Gobbo figure. Now Gobbo is plastic, isn't it? He's got soft plastic arms and hands, so you can make his hands move a little bit. It doesn't, there's no articulation, but because it's plastic, you can move them. And his feet, you can turn his feet from side to side. I'll be a little bit careful in case you snap them off though. But that's it, you can't move anything else on his body. Everything else is solid plastic. It's only the hands and the arms that you can, and the feet that you can move slightly. So Gobbo measures about 6 centimeters if you measure to the top of his hand from the bottom of his feet. And if we measure across, again, you're looking at 6 centimeters because his hands are quite wide open. And depth wise, from the end of his nose to the end of his hat, you're looking at almost 4 centimeters. So that gives you an idea of size. As I say, there's not a great deal of functionality in Gobbo. I just want to put him in the car and see how well he fits, and does he fall out. Well, he's quite a loose fit in there, so if you turn him upside down, he's very loose and he will fall out. So he's not a great fit into the vehicle. I suppose you could, I don't know if you could get him to hold on to the vehicle. Yeah, I suppose you could do that. He just wouldn't sit very well. So yeah, he doesn't really sit very well, not like some of the other ones in the same series who do actually fit really well and won't fall out, but this one is quite loose inside the car. So, but anyway, I mean, for a display item, yep, it looks very, very good. And if you're into Noddy In Toyland, it's a great model. Okay, that's about all I can tell you on the model. So how well did these do? Well, it was quite late being released, these were really. I think it was after the series had come to an end, or certainly when the series was on reruns rather than when it was originally produced. But the first batch of toys certainly did do very well. The whole first batch of 6, they did produce a certain quantity. I don't know how many in total, and they did sell out of them very quickly, and it forced them to actually do a second run of these models, which they did do in 2001. But they changed the packaging slightly, so the whole box You didn't have the backdrop on the back like this, and the figures were sitting separately outside of the car, and it was just a full window bubble, and the swag bags and things at the back they were just put in with light bands to hold them in position. The packaging was changed slightly, but the vehicle and the contents were really exactly the same, just packaged differently. So that was the second run that they did in 2001, and it's obviously because there was quite a demand for these models, and I don't think they've done a terrific quantity in the first run, hence the reason why they redid them again in 2001. So yes, this first batch done quite well, and which forced them to rerun them for a second wave. So, do they come up very often on the platforms? Well, you can find these Noddy vehicles on the platforms, but most of the ones you find these days are the second release, so the 2001 release rather than the 2000 release, which is what these ones are. So the second release, yes. The first release, no. You very rarely see those on any of the platforms. But you know, the model itself is exactly the same, so it's only the packaging and the backdrop that will be different. Other than that, it's exactly the same model. But the early ones seem to be the ones that people are these particular ones in the first release 2000 are the ones that seem to be the most collectible of the two batches. Maybe it's because it's the first batch, I don't know, but they do appear to be the most collectible, sought after by collectors. Okay, so these were released 24 years ago, so as I say, quite difficult to find these days, but however, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few, and fortunately for everybody concerned, there was a whole case of these models which we bought from a closed down toy and comic book shop, which has been around for the 1960s, and they had forced to close during the COVID times, and unfortunately when they reopened they was unable to make things work properly, and they decided to retire. And we was very fortunate to be offered all the stock, and which we did do. We went into the shop and we bought out all the stock that was on the shelves and all the stock that was in the stock room. And in the stock room was a whole case of these models that had never been opened and never been sold, and there were some loose ones that never sold from the shelf. So we were quite fortunate to have quite a quantity of all of these Noddy In Toyland model vehicles, and they are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Noddy items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that, there's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something you won't want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you're never able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful little model with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.